I am your host, Rochelle Sawyer Cobb. I am glad you all decided to join us this evening. Take time out of your Wednesday evening to sit in on this interview with my amazing guest, Miss Dalarse Demby.
Yes,
Welcome,
ma'am.
Dalarse.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. You got my name right on the first time. That is like, that never happens. That
I
never
know you're
happens.
like, yes.
Yeah, I know. I was like, darn it, I forgot to, but you didn't need it. So thank you. And hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, we are excited to have you. And I want to start off by saying again, every Wednesday, happy Women's History Month. I hope that you all are celebrating those women who have impacted your lives, whether they have gone on, honor them, or whether they're still here. If they're still here, let them know that they have impacted your life. It takes a second to tell someone, I appreciate you, I celebrate you, I love you, and I honor you. So let's really be intentional about doing that. As you all know, the Women Can Do show, it was created to highlight women who are doing amazing things in their businesses, their brands, in their communities. And so for me, we celebrate women history all year long, 365 days a year, because we're celebrating women making history, which is making an impact. And so it's no different. Our guest today, that's why she's on here. So Dalarse, just briefly tell us, who is Dalarse?
Uh, I am, I call myself a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
That we'll get into all of that later because it's a part of my story.
Yeah.
I am a wife. I am a mother. I am an employee and I'm an entrepreneur. And I always like to include that because I think that it's important for people to know that you can do and be both.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm one of five. I'm the second to the oldest, but really I'm the oldest because I know my brother's watching. So I want to get the opportunity to let him know that he is my baby brother. But yeah, I have been a nurturer my entire life,
Mm.
um, which is so originally my life goal was to be a social worker.
Wow.
And now I am an executive assistant. And I've realized that I've been an executive assistant my entire life. That is
Wow.
one role where you care for everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my world's all intertwined. Same with Print Junkee.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. So let's get into, so our topic today, we're going to talk about high quality printed goods for entrepreneurs and individuals. And this is a very important topic, um,
Yeah.
that doesn't get talked about enough, that is key
Yep.
to your business,
It
to
is.
your brand, to who you are, right? So what inspired you? So just so you all know, she's the owner of Print Junkee,
Yes.
which is a thriving print shop specializing in marketing materials and event branding, where she also helps businesses and brands stand out through creative marketing and custom prints. So, first of all, what inspired you to launch Print Junkee?
Print Junkee was birthed by accident. And just so you know, we have a brick and mortar located in Mayfair, right off of Torresdale and
Oh,
Cotman Avenue.
wow.
So yeah, we've been
How
here.
exciting.
Thank you. We've been here for 2 years in our shop.
Yeah.
So that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Originally, I had a different business. I was, much like you, I was embarking on this journey of women empowerment.
Yeah.
I had found this beautiful space down in down off of like Thompson and Lehigh. And I was able to have the opportunity to rent out small office spaces to women entrepreneurs. And my goal in that business, and it was called SheEO Brand. So it was a female CEO workspace or hub.
Yeah.
And the goal was to give female entrepreneurs the opportunity to see if they were ready to embark on having a brick and mortar or going, outside of just maybe e-commerce. And so I had people who sold socks. I had a nail tech. I had a tattoo artist, and I was able to rent out this space. And it was empowering for the women to be able to come in that space,
I
find this
love that.
affordable space, connect with all of the other women in the hub. So we, you formed a sisterhood. And then I allowed
Mm.
them to do short-term leases, right? Because it was an opportunity for them to figure out if this was something that they were ready for.
Right.
And honestly, I loved it. I loved it. And the neighborhood did not love me back, for
Wow.
various reasons because
Yeah.
of my skin tone. There was a
Mm.
lot of things. So we had to leave that space. And honestly, that I thought was the end of entrepreneurship for me. Um, while I was in that space, a lot of the women, they were starting fresh and they would be like, D, we need business cards. And I'd be like, oh,
Mm.
I'll make you up some. I'll print you some. Or, oh, we need brochures. And then eventually I was like, you know what? Let's put a commercial printer in here. It's another resource, for the women.
Yeah.
And I started printing business cards and then brochures and then it was flyers, and then how something is kind of brewing on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started taking small outside jobs. And years ago in 2014, I had started making T-shirts on a Cricut. So I had a little bit of experience. So I left. We closed down CEO Brands, and I went home and was like, I'm going to work. Entrepreneurship is not for me. I
Yeah.
got 6 kids. I don't have time for this being iffy. And somebody, I don't remember who, sent me a for rent sign for the space that I'm in now,
Mm-hmm.
and it just said this space is for rent, and it was like dirt cheap. And I was like, I'm gonna go and see it, but I can't do the same thing, right? Because I don't have enough space to rent things out.
Accommodate.
But
Yeah. Right.
in my downtime, I had started to do more of those odd jobs, the business cards, and that birth Print Junkee. I got in here and literally
Wow.
put the pedal to the floor, and we have been flourishing and thriving now for 2 years, from T-shirts and business cards now to backdrops like you see behind me, step and repeats, retractable banners, and a host of other things.
Yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
going to tell you, I love that you created that hub. Like that is so powerful. I mean, it was meant for
it's
you to
amazing. Yeah,
be it to be there for those women entrepreneurs in that season, right? To kind of
yeah.
help them, allow them that space to get started. Like I hadn't even thought of like I do,
It was
an annual.
amazing.
Yeah, I
It
do
was
like a
amazing.
pop-up shop, an annual pop-up shop, but that right there is top tier. Like that's
Yeah.
next
And so many
level.
of the women are in brick and mortars right now. Like Kaya Moore
Wow.
Lash, she's in her own location.
Yeah.
Molly Stock Boutique, she's in her own location. There was another tangible
Yeah.
tattoo artist. So it was inspiring for me.
I can
Um,
imagine. Yeah.
yeah, it was inspiring for me. And I think a big part of it too is I think that like entrepreneurs have an entrepreneurial spirit, right? So
Mhm.
you kind of
Mhm.
know the 9 to 5 is not your end all be all, right? Like
Right.
you can do it. Like I can
Yeah.
do it every day and not
Yeah.
feel like, oh, why am I doing this? But I know that it's not enough for me.
Yeah.
And seeing those women, like being able to assist them in that space, because we were helping each other. I didn't realize it at the time, but they were helping to develop this brand that I now can't live without, and neither can, small businesses at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was an amazing, amazing part of my journey that I don't ever want to forget.
Yeah. I mean that's powerful. Like
Thank you.
you
Thank
talk
you.
about empowerment. Oh my, you talk about bringing the next one forward. I mean, that is really amazing. That is powerful and it adds to your story. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so at Print Junkie, you do like business cards, like you said. I like that the retractable banners and all of that. So
Yeah. I do. I do so many things here in this little
yeah,
space. I have a sign that says this is where the magic happens. So I have, this is my like step and repeat. I'm gonna spin
uh
this
huh,
a little bit. Like this is like a graduation banner here.
yeah,
Like, this is a retractable
that's
banner.
pretty. Yeah.
Um, business cards, t-shirts, tumblers. I bought this one out on purpose for you today. It says, I would like to ship this to you. It says powered
Oh,
by the Black woman before me.
thank you. So that is beautiful.
Yeah,
That is
so
beautiful.
if it could be printed on, if it could be printed, we
You
print
got
it
me
here.
about to cry.
Oh, I pulled that out for you. I was like, I got to make sure. I wanted to show it to you,
Yeah.
and I want to make sure that you get it because I just appreciate it. Like, being a part of this, I am every woman panel that I just said on last weekend. There's just
Yeah.
been a lot of things that are happening consistently, that are kind of reassuring me, right? Because we
Mm.
all go through these like seasons of doubt,
Yeah.
and I've literally been sitting in this season of, is this where I'm supposed to be? Right? As good as
Mm.
it feels, as often as orders are coming in, I'm still just like, there is always something.
Yeah.
And until I sat at the Sisters in Suits brunch, I felt like it was something that only I was dealing with by myself. And
Yeah.
then in that space, it was like, girl, me too, me too, me too. You
Mm,
know what I mean? Like there were so many similar stories. And so I walked out feeling like, oh, well, this is what it is. You know,
yeah.
this is the culture.
Yeah.
So and then I got this offer, this opportunity, and it's a reassurance for me that I'm in the right place, that I'm doing the right things, and it's encouraging. Like it's
Yeah.
inspiration for me to keep moving. So I did want to gift you something for the opportunity, and so I'll be sure to ship that to you.
Well, I am honored to be a part of your story.
I appreciate it.
I
It is.
am like, I am really like, it literally most
Everything is happening just at the perfect time for me, and I've been
yes.
hearing this word obedience over
Yeah.
and over again, over
Yeah.
and over again. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited
Yeah.
for what's to come. I feel like this is a turning point for me.
And I heard that Sisters in Suits brunch was really
It's amazing.
powerful. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I saw
It
some
was.
like clips on Britney's page. I saw some clips of
Yeah,
different ones and you as well.
it was
It was,
amazing.
oh my gosh.
I can't even put it into words. It was just this literal like space of healing. Like you walked in
Mm,
and I like you got the chills almost. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like you could just
yeah,
feel that everybody was there
yeah.
for women empowerment. Like they were there
Mm,
to uplift each other. It was absolutely.
exactly.
I
And that's
can't wait for next year. I
yeah,
literally
yeah,
can't wait for next year. It was amazing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm excited. This is like the best season of Print Junkie, I think.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, I am. I've been smiling since then.
I love to see it. Okay. I love to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah. So with so let's share how so we know what Print Junkie does, but let's share with the people the importance of having high quality,
Yeah,
marketing products, like just not just for your brand, but even like at your events. I'm gonna give you an example. Like e- I remember this is when I had a branding coach when I first started, but they were talking. She was mentioning like the even down to the color scheme,
yeah,
the color of your logo. If it's too dark, it won't do it. If it's too light, so share the importance because some people don't look at some people see those as small things, but they're
yeah.
really big when someone is looking from the outside in.
They are. I try and tell everybody. I do offer like branding consultations where we discuss
Mm.
color palettes. I think
Hmm.
before you decide on a logo, um, you should have some sort of consultation or feel very strongly in yourself that this design alone
Yeah.
will attract customers, right? Because you're in business for that reason.
Right.
So I feel like, and I say this all the time, black, white, gold, and silver is every like beginner entrepreneur's color scheme. Like I get it
Hmm.
all the time. It's like, oh, I want to do something black, white, and red, or I want to do something black and silver. And I'm like, it's going to wash out. Like
Yeah.
it's going to wash out because when you get into these places and these events and you're one of 30, everybody is going to, black is a base color, right? And
Yep.
white is a highlight.
Yep.
So I try to say, let's just use it for that. So and this is why I put this banner up, and I have a
Mhm.
million of them, right? So you
Mhm.
see, like this hot pink, it pops like
It
down
pops.
to what I was going to wear when I sat in front of it.
Yeah.
Was a part of how I would answer this question in the interview. It
Yeah.
is literally your first impression in
Yeah.
business, right? Like you make a first impression when you meet people personally, and you do the same in business, especially in this season of vending and pop up shops, because
Mm.
you're in an abyss of people that are like you. You all may
Yeah.
sell different things, but everybody has a table. Everybody's going to have a tablecloth. Everybody's going to have a runner. So, in
Yeah.
order to be seen, and that, like, I push retractable banners over
Yep.
anything. Like,
Mhm.
it's my number one bestseller. I
Yeah.
run sales on them all the time. People are like, "Hey, I wanted to get a backdrop." I'm like, "Do you have a retractable banner?" Reason being, it's 80 inches tall,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's taller than the average person in the room, right? It's durable, it's lightweight, and everybody will see it. Like
Yeah.
everybody will see it. Like this is huge. And that's the thing. Like it's so big, it doesn't capture everything like right in the eye. Like you are looking at maybe
Right.
right 24 inches of my 5 foot banner. So you don't see my QR code. You don't see everything else that would be a part of this banner. Whereas
Yeah.
in the retractable, everything is right in your direct line of sight. So I there's so many things that I tell people, like vinyl. I push vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Materials are very important. Like we love polyester because it's flexible. We can fold it up, but we can roll up vinyl and it's going to last you for a lifetime. If anybody,
Mm.
even table runners, I make
Yeah.
vinyl table runners.
Oh
It's
wow.
durable. So
Yeah.
DJs, chefs, cooks, these are things that you can wipe off, roll up, and pack away for your next event. So yeah, your marketing materials, your logos, your color schemes,
Mm-hmm.
it's your first impression.
Yeah.
Um, it speaks to your business's confidence also. So if you show up with, and I have a couple of samples just to show the difference,
Yeah. Let's see that.
right? So I ordered from, and I won't say any names, but I ordered from like a place that we could all go to and get same day items
Uh-huh.
printed.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be these, and then to show
Okay.
you what a Print Junkee black business card would look like, right?
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I just a couple of different black ones, right? So this is like a credit card. There's no white bleed. You don't have to, go through the measuring portions of it. If you gave me this, can you read any of this text?
No.
Right? Like you can, this is the color scheme. This is white,
Yeah.
this is black, this is gold. But if I hold up another white and black business card, you know what I mean? Where the
Yeah.
white is, it's very important
Yeah.
that your marketing materials speak before you. They are literally going to be your first impression. It's the
Yeah.
first thing everybody looks at. When I'm approaching your table, I don't know what you sell.
Yep.
I
Yep.
see your business name, but I see it on your advertisement. So I would see it on your
Mm-hmm.
table runner. I would
Mm-hmm.
see it on your retractable banner. I have no idea what you sell.
Yeah.
However, if you walked up to Print Junkee, you would say, okay, does she sell t-shirts or retractable banners? Like it, I need to draw you in. I need to bring you over to where I am. And I
Yeah.
I try to do that with my customers with colors
Mm-hmm.
and with design placement, because alignment is also very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true. We were at the Atlanta Women's Expo. I had a booth there
Hmm.
2 years ago. And it's true. So I have my own booth, right? Of course I have the retractable banners and everything.
Yeah.
So but I'm the business, right? So once I step out of the booth, I'm the consumer. So
Yeah.
I'm watching, and so I knew what it was. It was the retractable banners, the colors that drew me to other booths to go
Yeah.
like, oh, let me see,
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh,
That's
that
how
is
you
so
decided where to go. Like you're
it
in
was
this
that
event.
banner.
And
Yeah.
I tell people, like, you have to understand too, especially for pop-up shops, this is so important. No one person is coming to a pop-up shop to shop with every single business that is there, right?
Yeah.
Because how much money do we really have to
Yeah.
just spend at an event? As much as we would want to.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we decide who to buy from? So yeah, a family member might be our referral. So we're gonna stop
Right.
and see cousin Titi first, right? We're
Of
gonna see
course.
her
Yeah.
first. Everybody in her immediate vicinity is probably gonna get attention. But then you kind of stand in the middle of the floor and you're literally just kind of looking around to figure out where
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna go next. And
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
that's where that retractable banner comes in. That's where the table runner comes. That's where that logo comes in. That's
Yeah.
where, logo placement, like just in terms of where it is, like keeping things at eye level for the average height of a person. These are all things
Mm.
that really go into designing your marketing prints.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more important than people think.
Yeah. And again, I didn't real well, I knew because someone told me when I
Yeah.
was like before I had had the logo and picked the color scheme and all of that before I launched, right?
Right.
But it wasn't until that the branding consultant told me the import. I didn't really. It was just like, these are green and purple. Those are my favorite. Those are my
Right.
colors. So I picked those two colors for a reason, but I didn't think about them,
Yeah.
having the colors, how they need to pop out and all, until she actually told me the importance of it. But again, I didn't really take it in until, like I said, me as the
Yeah.
consumer is
Yeah. Feeling
walking
yourself.
around the expo and picking which booth I'm going to go to. And I'm like, okay, I
Yeah.
get it. And I remember the first expo that we did, I didn't have like so many things, but I watched the other ones, and I remember my sister saying, "Oh, you need that one." We did the one in
Yeah.
LA. And so by the time we got to Atlanta, we were ready. But so in
Right.
LA, she's like, "Oh, you know what? You see what they have? You
Yeah,
need that."
write that down. Write that down.
Again, right? So
Yeah.
you don't know, you even though, like I said, I was told that, hey, this is, why these colors are good, this is why it's gonna pop,
Yeah.
whatever. But I didn't until like I said, as the consumer on the outside looking in, like, oh my gosh, now I see what they see and why
Yeah.
they need to see this.
Yeah, and I think it scares some people too, like to go into consulting because when you are starting a business, it's your baby and you want everything to be like, this is mine,
Yeah,
right? So, like, even looking at your background, like, I love the colors.
yeah.
Someone looked and was like, all right, we got to gradient these because these are very strong colors, right?
Hmm.
This could easily give masquerade if it's not set up properly because
Yeah,
of the colors, right?
yeah,
So when you think of Mardi Gras, those are, you literally have Mardi Gras colors, but that's not
yeah,
what you see when you're looking at it because of how beautifully they were able to blend it to make the
yeah,
colors flow together. And then
yeah.
even the way the logo sits on top, it's the exact same color, but it still stands out. It's not washing into your background. You know what
Right,
I mean?
right.
So
Well,
um,
shout out to Brittany for putting my screen, and she didn't do someone else created my
you're
logo
so good.
some years ago, but
We
the
clicked
I
in
Can Do
2 minutes.
logo, but the show logo and this whole background, this is all her.
Amazing. We
Put those
clicked in like
colors flushing
two
together, that's
two
her.
minutes flat. We clicked. She is amazing.
The Brittany Nicole brand, that is her. I give credit where credit is due. It's all her.
Yeah, great job. She did an
Yeah,
amazing job. It looks
yeah,
so good. Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So let's get into, so we know, you're an entrepreneur, mom of six, right?
I'm a 6.
Mom of six, you work, right? But I also read that you like have a mission and a passion to empower women and youth.
Yeah.
And the part about the youth, that is just like so important to me.
Yeah.
For Women's History Month, I at the beginning of the month, I kind of, announced that our focus is highlighting people who are bringing up the next generation.
Mhm.
Because that's kind of what we're not just empowering women, but we also, um, I'm starting a mentoring program where we're going to mentor girls. So I have a
Oh, I
passion for
love
that
that.
too, for bringing up the next generation. So tell us about the work that you do with not just empowering women, but our youth.
So I am so right now I'm actually in the building stages of trying to start a nonprofit. And I'm saying trying because I'm in the very, very beginning stages of it.
Yeah.
But when I was at Sheo Brands, this was a bi-level building. My downstairs I turned into a summer camp. So when I say I'm like a serial entrepreneur, I'm literally a
Wow.
serial entrepreneur. And I
Yeah.
started a summer camp with absolutely no funding, no
Mm,
staff,
yeah.
no resources. So my mom is making lunch, right? My teenage sons
Wow.
are my junior counselors. My
Yeah.
adult sister was my counselor. I brought in another friend to teach them dance. This goes back to me as a kid. Like my reason and my passion for wanting to do something in the community and something for the youth
Mhm.
goes back to when I was a teenager.
Yeah.
I had low self-esteem, but I was amazing at hiding it. Like no, my family told me I was beautiful every day. I
Yeah.
came from a family of love, right? Like
Yeah.
I had fun, I had beautiful days, but the way that I internalized myself, what I
Wow.
looked at, what I saw, and this carried very far into my adult years as well. I
Yeah.
didn't see the beauty that everybody else saw. And so while
Wow.
I would like smile and like be all excited, oh, thank you. And I was like, oh, she's so outgoing and be like her. And
Yeah.
all the while I was like cringing inside, right? Because
Wow.
I didn't see the value in myself. And so
Mm.
like a lot of times we watch the news and we see all of these things happen. And the first thing we say is, where are their parents?
Yeah.
Where and that's not always the case.
It's not always.
It's not always the case.
Yep.
Um, I have always been outgoing. I've always been very, very smart. I didn't need I didn't take heed to everybody else's perception of me. I created my
Mm.
own. And I don't know what it would take of that,
Mm.
right? Like I created this perception of myself that said I was overweight when I wasn't. That
Mm.
said that I was not beautiful when I am, and I know that now. And so it has been just a lifelong mission for me to ensure that any young woman that is in my presence. Yesterday, I connected with Deja Johnson. She said she would get on here. She's on here.
Uh-huh.
She was one of my babies when I was a camp counselor. She's now like a nurse. So that's where my passion for social work originally started, because I feel
Oh,
like that's an
wow.
at-risk community, right? Like they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have that love that I have. So how much worse could they maybe feel
yeah.
about themselves? So I've done so many things. So me and my brother had a magazine, and it was called Philly's Prominent, and we showcased Philadelphia talents. And
Okay.
then we collected donations every year, and every year we gave back to Tabor, which is a foster care facility here in
Oh,
the city.
wow.
So the program that I'm working on is similar to what you just mentioned, is mentoring. I would like to start with young women, but I feel like our young men are even more at risk now than our
Mhm.
young women are.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but I would like to find a space where we can bring them in for something as simple as girl talk once a week. My
Mhm.
children go to a school called Sankofa Freedom Academy. It's a
Mhm.
Swahili-based school, and recently my niece, who's 17, got into like a spat with some female friends, and they brought the parents into the meeting, and it just didn't go well.
Oh,
And then when
wow.
she got home, she was like, "No, everything is fine," because a teacher who she's close to set us down for a sister circle. And I was like, what was that? And she was like, well, we just got to sit down and say what we didn't like
Mm.
without the parents, without feeling like we got to conform to what our parents think. And she was like, we just really realized there was a misunderstanding. And
Yep.
that me and her have been talking since then. So it'll be something that I partner with her in doing.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll bring in cosmetologists to be able to teach them trades. But
Yeah.
again, we're in the very beginning stages of it. But that is a passion of mine. It's something that has been underlying in my, again, I feel like everything that comes to me is within me, right? So
Mhm.
nothing is really like a job. So I can't wait to get that off the ground. I'm very
Mhm.
excited for that.
Well, first of all, I love that, you're gonna have, this space where, and again, it's going back to what you originally did, providing that
Yeah,
space for
yeah,
those women, that hub, right?
yeah.
Um, Now you're gonna really doing that same thing for the youth.
For the
Like you said,
younger
you're gonna
generation.
offer cosmetology classes,
Yeah.
that's important. One thing I'm really like passionate about is, so we go to college, like kids go to college. So I have a scholarship program, right? We give out scholarships. So these girls go to college.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, once they graduate from college, do you know what to do?
No.
Like there's no, as a
Yeah.
college graduate, like
Like,
there's
good job,
no,
right? You
college
feel
does
so
not teach
accomplished.
you, no.
It does not. You feel so accomplished. You got this degree.
And it's like, oh my gosh, now what?
Now what? Now what? So
And
I'll
so
put I'll
I'm,
put my degree to use in a different way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. They don't equip you with real life guidance, I guess,
And
in the real world.
yeah, and that is, I just saw that, like, that is what's needed, because originally it was like, okay, I want to mentor young girls. I've kind of indirectly mentored
Hmm.
actually a couple of people now, and it's just like
It's a thing.
they call it's just a kind of a natural thing, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like I'm it actually doing it,
Yeah.
just not in a
Already.
structured way. But it's so that's why I know that these things exist. That's what made me
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, like this is the area they need help. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, they get through college, you help them whatever financially through college, but it's like when they leave college, it's like, what
What's
now? You have
next?
a lot of people with degrees that are really doing
Lost.
nothing because they
They're
really don't
lost.
know where to start.
Yeah, they're lost. You got this plethora of information. You got this
Yeah.
piece of paper that is supposed to be your key, right? Because this is what they tell you, like, this
Yeah.
is your key to success. Go to
Yeah.
college, right? And I'm all for college. I want all of my children to go to college. I
Yeah.
want them to experience. I mean, it was the most fun I ever had in my entire life, if I have to be honest, right?
Yeah.
Um, but there is no roadmap once you're done. There's
Yeah.
nothing that tells you where to go or what to do, and there's really not enough liaisons. There's not enough bridges between that college student and that level of success,
Yep.
right? Because you could go and put in an application, but there's no like, where are the job fairs like in between for those phases? Not just like
Mhm.
for the city workers, but
Right.
you have this. We want all social workers to come to this job fair. We
Mm.
have
Mm.
62 open positions in the city, right?
Mhm.
And these are
Mhm.
the credentials that we need you to have. Because if they designed it that way, then you kind of get your ideal candidates. They're walking right in the door. We are moving right into interview phase. That's
Mm-hmm.
what logic would be for me.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's just
Yeah.
not the way of the world. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
that's my
I
goal.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I hope more people are, kind of noticing and kind of
I
starting.
think
I
they
know.
will.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one thing I will say in this times, we live in a time of what's the word I'm looking for? Like everything becomes like an epidemic. Everybody does what they kind of see.
Hmm.
So that's something to mimic, right? Like,
So it's like
yeah,
exactly.
and
Yeah.
let's do
Yeah.
that. Let's all
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, that works.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So so we again, you're all these things, right?
I'm all these
When
things.
do you find how do you find balance and harmony for you? Right? You're all these things to everybody else. And not saying, I mean, like these
Oh
things
no,
that
you're
you're
right.
doing,
I am. You're very
you're,
right.
but I mean, but at the end of the day, we know that a lot of these things you are fulfilled, right? But
Yeah,
even in that, you still have
yeah,
to find that balance when you're doing multiple things. Like you said, you work, you have a job and you're an entrepreneur. Same with me, same thing.
yeah,
So I have
yeah.
to find that, balance. So what do you do for you?
So I'm going to be 100% honest, right? I am in a very new season of me, like of.
Hmm.
So I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, okay, girl,
Ah.
like that's enough, right? Like, all right. So a lot of what I do, like the tumblers, is not work, right? That's peace for me. I like getting on the computer.
Hmm.
I've been a computer geek my entire life. At 12, I was training adults in my neighborhood on computers with my computer
Wow.
teacher. Shout out to Carla Glover, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a writer. So I have a published urban fiction novel on Amazon.
Mm.
I write a lot of poetry. I journal. I have a journal that I'm actually working on that I'm hoping to launch June 1st called Boss Up
Hmm.
and Breathe. But like I said in the very beginning of this interview, I am literally an executive assistant. I'm a nurturer at heart. So I
Yeah.
do find peace in being all of the things that I am. I'll
Mm-hmm.
complain about it, but if I don't hear
But
from my
still.
brother,
Hmm.
then
Yep.
you didn't need me. Oh, you did that by yourself? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's so I find peace in that. And then I travel. I will hop on a plane in a
Important.
minute,
Yeah.
and that is how I escape for just a second. That's how I get
Yeah.
to like shut everything off and just be like,
Hmm.
okay. Um, so balance for me right now just looks like picking something that makes me smile and doing it.
That's right.
There's no real planning.
Yeah.
There's no real schedule for me right now. It is literally just um, not letting my week go by and it's dedicated to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So at least one day, even if
Yeah.
it's want to get my nails done, my eyebrows, like I make sure that's something that I do because there are times where I'm like, oh my God, it's been 4 weeks and
Yeah.
I still can't get to the nail salon. Now I'm on, Instagram and
I
I'm
know. Yeah.
right. Um, so yeah, and then my kids, like my
Yeah.
kids, again, I complain. We talked about this at the Sisters in Suits brunch. I yell, but they are my happy place.
Yeah.
I can sit in my living room and not even need them in the room with me.
Mhm.
Just hear them. Somebody screaming about the game. I got a 13-year-old that won't stop singing. My 9-year-old is a rapper. My niece who scored a touchdown today, guys, in flag football. So kudos for her.
Oh, I know she is over
Denia,
the moon, honey.
she is, but now she needs gloves. Every accolade is a purchase. Now she needs
Right.
gloves because
Yeah.
she scored a touchdown. But that's just happiness for me. It's whatever I pick at that
That's
time,
right.
and that's important. Like people
So
tell you
important.
to prioritize yourself, which is real, right? And
Mhm.
they say you gotta do all of the things, and they give you this rubric and tell you how to do things, and you really just gotta find what works for you.
What works for you?
Yeah, those little moments of happiness is something to look forward to. Like
Yeah.
me knowing that tomorrow for lunch I'm gonna have Chipotle because it's my cheat day has
Yeah.
had me on cloud nine
Yeah.
all day today. So it's that simple. An
And
$11 bowl.
yeah, and you're right. It's those little things. And one thing I always tell people, take that pause. Like
Yeah,
you gotta take a pause in your week. For me, it's Wednesdays. It's middle of the
yeah,
week, and then Saturday. Those are that's like for me to do whatever I feel like
Yeah,
doing, right?
yeah, yeah. You
But
have
like
to.
you
You
said,
have
it's
to.
something as simple as that. Like you said, you had your treat. Your I love Chipotle, the Chipotle bowls.
I'm
Uh,
getting that tomorrow. Tomorrow lunch. When you think about me tomorrow at about 12, just know D is eating her bowl.
yeah, yeah,
Can't wait.
yeah. But
Can't wait.
it's
I'm going to bed early tonight so that I can
so you can wake up and get ready for that bowl.
get to lunch. So I can get to lunch for tomorrow. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, life is moving so fast,
It is.
even if you're not doing a million things. So it is important. It's very
Yeah.
important to find a moment,
Find
like
the
you said, to
moment.
just stop, just a moment,
The
even if it's just a
moment.
moment.
Yeah.
It
And
could be
don't
hanging with
overthink
the
it.
girls, because
Yeah.
I got a group. My cousins are like my everything.
Yeah.
So I take a moment. One of them is she's hilarious. We laughed yesterday for about 45 minutes because she got a rod set and didn't like
Uh-huh.
her hair. But that was for me. When I hung up, I was like, "Ooh, child, I can go to bed now. I'm so glad I heard that
Right.
laugh."
Yeah.
So it's whatever you make it. That's what I think.
It's whatever you, oh, that is so
Yeah,
important. And
yeah,
and like you said, that moment. Don't overthink it. It doesn't have to be anything big, like
yeah.
a
Because
big trip
planning will
or
stress you
anything.
out.
It
Planning
will
will stress
stress
you right
you
on
out.
out.
Yeah.
Planning will stress you right on out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, make it simple and let it grow. Make it
Yeah.
simple and let it grow. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get my nails done. And when you get finished getting your nails done, if you go to lunch, you go to lunch, right?
Right.
And if you shop Golden Ross or Burlington or TJ Maxx after that, by the time you get home, you didn't plan it, but you found that you had an amazing day. You get up the next day feeling like you are renewed. So
And listen, dude, I'm gonna tell you this. About a year, I think it was about a year ago. So I was like, I need to work, kind of prioritize me,
mm,
blah blah blah. So I am one that I think it is so weird to sit in a restaurant and eat alone, right?
right.
I just always have thought this. So last year I did.
You tried it.
I went shopping and I'm like, I'm gonna go in here and just sit down and just
Yeah.
have lunch by myself. It was the most beautiful thing ever.
It's
Who knew?
peaceful.
Who knew?
Now I gotta sneak and do it because the kids don't think that now net to them, that is disloyal
Yeah.
to my kids. Like so I gotta sneak, but I will. We have a cafeteria at work and I will sit
Uh-huh.
in my car. I will drive to the park
Yeah.
under a tree and sit in my car
Yeah.
and be like, now I can handle the second half of my day.
And listen, the car moments are that's like next level. That
Every
by
single day.
yourself,
Every single day.
that is next level.
Every single
I
day.
used to do
And
it when I
I
worked
don't
because
even play the radio when I'm in my car.
there you go. Even like when I'm by myself driving, I'll just turn everything off.
I've been listening to audiobooks. It's my new thing. I
Like,
started in
yeah.
August. I am like 108 titles in.
Wow.
It is such a beautiful thing.
It is?
And let's just let this, you kind of escape. Let this story just
Yes.
play in my ears. No
Yeah.
music, no radio. It's not the kids.
Yeah.
It's not a customer. It's not.
Yeah.
So when I do my supply runs, I'm not pulling off until I find a book.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I will not move until I find a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my piece. That's my piece.
I love it. I love it.
A car is an
So,
escape.
yeah, it is.
It is.
So let me ask you this. So again, you're a serial entrepreneur.
I am.
What are some of the challenges that you have faced? Of course, you're an
Yeah.
overcomer, right? We know
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
overcoming these challenges.
Yeah.
But just I always like to tell people, yeah, I'm here, but I had to do this,
Yeah.
and that. I had to pivot here. You know what I mean? So, what are some of the challenges you had to overcome to get to where you are today
I think.
as a serial entrepreneur?
I think learning.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
because there's so much information. There's
Mm.
so many gurus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You follow the wrong person, you do the wrong thing, and then it's 10 step backwards.
Yeah.
So I feel like for me, I've done it all. Literally, I've sold children's clothing, women's
Yeah.
clothing, hair, um, you name it. Like when I say serial entrepreneur, I knew that
Mm-hmm.
there was something in the spirit of mine. And I think for consistency,
Yeah.
a lot of our stumbling blocks, I'm sorry, are within us. because we're listening to outside noise.
Yep.
I can't tell you how many people got wide eyes when I told them about an idea that I had, only to
Mhm.
see somebody else do it and I
Yep.
quit, right?
Yeah.
So then there's that little bit of like feeling defeated because you
Yeah.
watch somebody do something better than you did it. Um, and resources. I feel like
Mm.
that's the biggest
That's the
one.
biggest.
We hear all of this funding talk, right?
Yeah.
You
Yep.
hear funding every other video. And if you are an entrepreneur, you know that it is definitely not easy.
Nope.
It's almost impossible.
Nope.
It's literally almost impossible unless you have A1 credit. So I feel like resources and then support.
Those
Support,
two right there. Those two right there. Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
as much as we don't want it and we say, oh, I don't care if they don't shop with me, support is so important. And support
It
doesn't
is.
have to be spending. Support can be encouragement. Support can
There
be
you
just
go.
on my worst day telling me that you're proud that I'm doing a great job, or that
Mm.
you're, I see that you are still going, keep going.
Yeah.
Support is very, very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would, those are the things that I feel like in any business that I stopped, if it wasn't simply that I realized, okay, this is not it. Right. And I
Mhm.
heard this saying that said, if you throw enough at the wall, something will stick. Right.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
it was an older person that said that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense to me until now because Print Junkee stuck. Right. And
Mm.
Print Junkee is stuck. But I can't tell you how many times I got on Indeed.com
Yeah.
because I was like, all right, you thought this was what you wanted to do. Entrepreneurship is not for you. Um, just to end up right back with another EIN and another brand name and another
Yeah.
brand logo and another color palette. So yeah, if more resources were available to me then in 2014 when I bought a Cricut or when I started a
Mhm.
magazine, and if the support was as strong then as it is
Mhm.
now, and I think the difference is where I'm looking for support, right? Like there's, I sat in a room Saturday in a room full of strangers, but I
Mm.
never felt so uplifted.
Yeah.
You are trained to think that your family has to purchase your items. They
Yeah.
have to show up to your events. They have
Yeah.
to do, they're not interested. This is not
Right.
their life. It's not their
Yeah.
journey. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
Right? They're not interested. They're not proud. It's just not their thing. So you have to put yourself with like minds and like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
so that you can get that reciprocity, right? You're giving it because you understand it. You're in it. You're a
Mhm.
part of it. Like, girl, I see you. You did that. It's coming
Yeah.
back, right? And it's coming back. And you're getting bigger and stronger, right? And bigger. You're getting more
Mm.
confident. And before you know it, you got this sister circle. I think I have like 3 now at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, those are my people. Like that's who I go to when my printer goes down and I got a $4,000 tab. Where in the past I'd be calling my mom like, I don't understand.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
is, like this is God's giving me a sign, and my mom's like, pray about it, baby.
Yeah.
Like that's all I
Yeah.
got. Where these women are like, well, wait a minute, well, I know this person that did this, so let's see if we can. It's different.
Listen.
So
I
supporting these
I
folks.
I I know it.
Yeah, it's rough.
I
It's a
am
rough
living in
journey.
it. Yeah,
It's
I
a
am living
rough
it but like you
journey.
said, you're at that, you're in that space with all of these like-minded women,
Yeah,
right? And the common who all have the common goal of lifting and building each other up.
and
When I
succeeding.
started for season 1, I was on Instagram Live. I
Okay.
just started on podcast in January,
Okay.
but it was another young lady, Yvette Lloyd, that helped me. Like I'm like, oh my gosh, I know how to do the hosting. I'm fine with the
Right.
camera talking and all this stuff, but the technical stuff, I
Yeah.
have no idea. She literally now she's in is she in Philly? I can't remember. But anyway, literally now it's a time difference, was on the phone with me for about over an hour, helping me test it out. She got on
Right.
camera, make sure, and just showing me, giving me tips. And now she has her own podcast, right?
And that's
But
it.
she knew that her helping me wasn't going to take away from her.
Right. Right.
when I tell you, I am forever, appreciative and forever connected to her, and just even in that she was empowering me, and because I had got a little nerve, and I told her, I said, I'm not the technical stuff. I'm like, my son is here, but if he's gone,
Yeah.
I need to
If
know how to
something
run
happens.
this.
Right.
Yeah, I need to know. And so she literally walked, and again, that's somebody I met through Brittany, right? She literally walked me, through, just took, I mean, that will forever stand out to me, like a complete stranger,
Yeah.
like wanted me to win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But that was like, I get it. Like it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. I had one of those Mika Johnson from All Black
Mm.
Everything Pop Up.
Mhm.
She was my person. Like she came to purchase napkins when I was CEO Brands.
Yeah.
I didn't know her. And then I closed and she was like, "Oh, my Virgo baby, because both Virgos, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right." And then I
Yeah.
was like, "I got this idea." And she was like, "Oh, that's it. Do it." Like, and every step of the way,
Yeah.
commercials. She's my videographer. And I didn't know her from a can of paint, but today she's
Wow.
my sister and my
Yeah.
mentor,
Oh yeah.
and my go-to. So that's the difference. It's just
Yeah.
putting yourself in the right space with the
And
right
and
people.
And here's the thing, we pray, and my prayer was always, God place the right people. When I launched this, place the right people in my path. And it's like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing it. Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
really doing it. Like I'm recognizing because that's one thing I prayed, let me recognize, give me
yeah,
that spirit of discernment that this is
yeah.
but I see it, to see it happening. It's like, wow.
It is, and it's such an inspire. Like it's invigorating to
It
be in it.
is.
That's how it was Saturday. That's how the
Yeah.
brunch was. It was like this is.
Yeah.
I can't believe I was doubting this. That's kind of how you walked around the room. I can't believe I wasn't sure. I can't
Yeah.
believe yeah, it was great. So I mean, that's important. That's really
And look,
important.
I just watched the clips from it and I was just empowered, So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
imagining you're
So
there. I was like,
this
I'm
was
watching
year
the clips
three.
like I'm gonna be there next year. I'm flying out there.
Yeah, this was year three. I was at year one, and year one was amazing.
Yeah.
But it was this year,
Hmm.
no words.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Amazing.
I
Yeah.
love it. So look, tell us, I think I don't the journal isn't out yet, but
The journal is not
uh
out yet. It's
boss
funny.
up, boss up and breathe.
Yes.
So
And
what's the inspiration behind, even though it's not out, what's just give us a
the
little
journal
sneak
is
peek.
literally for everything that we talked about. It is a um guided tool to just help you through rough patches in business. So that's
Ah,
why when I say that everything has just been lining up. So everything has been just lining up. So originally this journal was supposed to be released in February. And
mhm,
then I
mhm.
had some things happen. And so we pushed it out. But I have been for the last like almost 4.5 to 5 months writing down every day what went wrong, what went
Mm,
right, why did it go wrong, like could I have done something to make it different, like if I'm going to bed and I'm frustrated, am I frustrated because I didn't plan, did I
right, right.
procrastinate, right? And this journal it has quotes, it has affirmations, it has reflection pages for you to kind of just go back and just reflect off of the day
Mhm.
before.
Mm,
Reflecting off of the day before will prepare you for tomorrow, and that's the purpose of the journal, is to just allow you to accept the fact that this is not going to be easy. Like if you purchase this journal, you are already accepting that that notion that I'm going to start a business and I'm going to be successful and I'm going to be rich and I'm going to create generational wealth. And you will most likely do all of those things. You will not do it in the time frame you think you're going to do it.
yep.
You are not going to do it in the mind frame you think you're going to do it,
Mhm.
and you're not going to do it. It's not going to look the way you think it's going to look.
Yeah.
And so the journal kind of prepares you for that, and then it gives you tools for those times when they come, as infrequent as we would hope that they are, to be able to say, um, to kind of prevent or minimize the breakdowns, right, that we
Mhm.
experience as entrepreneurs and in business, because you have this pocket rocket, is what I'll call mine, that
Mhm.
I can literally stop, like in those lunch moments. When I'm in my car, some days I'm writing like, why Print Junkee? Why Print Junkee? Why?
Yeah.
And then this is why. Like today, this customer did this, or there was this communication. So okay, now let me go back. Just the other day, let me go back and revise. my return policy so that I don't have that problem again. Let me get a little bit more detail with regards to what I need from my customers for graphics when I'm printing, because they don't understand. This is my world, right? So I can't expect them to understand. So just those things. The journal literally is going to be for reflection, and then a cheat for the following day or the next day or the next episode or incident.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and it's boss up and breathe, because you will reflect and breathe through those hard moments, and boss up for the
And
very
boss
next
up.
day. Boss up, because you
I
have to
love
show
that
up.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to show up. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for it. I was trying to have a copy so that I could show the cover, because I absolutely love it. But let me get my other phone. Hold on one second. It's not even completely finished, but I'll show you.
Yeah. Give us a little sneak peek.
I know. I'll show you this. Oh, let me see. I'm so excited. Just so that you kind of get a visual of what I envision for this. Is this it? This is not it. Mm. So this was one of. Let me see.
Ooh.
Wait, this goes the other way.
Ooh.
So can you see the difference in the woman on the left and the woman on the right?
Yes.
Right. So this is typically our end of day,
Wow.
right? But then with the resources, with that reflection, with that moment of, all right, girl, and we all are going to experience this. This ain't the last time. Are you in it? Because if you are, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then it
Yeah.
shows her in her right. And of course, she's wearing a crown. So soon, I pushed it back to June 1st just to give myself time, because I felt extremely pressured. I
That's
just every
good.
time
Yeah.
every time I set a date, it's something. It's an ISBN. It's something. So June 1st is what I'm hoping for.
Well, I can't wait. I can't
I'm
wait.
excited.
'Cause
I'll make
I'm
sure.
definitely getting mine.
I'll make
And I will be
sure.
promoting it on my page. So
Thank you. And it's big. It's 144 pages. It's a
yeah.
journal. You know, it's not
Yeah.
a little 28 pager. So
Yeah.
it'll be good. It'll be good for all entrepreneurs, not just women.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's for us, by us.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
So listen, it's Women's History Month.
Yes.
Who is a woman that has impacted your life in a
My
major
mom.
way?
My
Who
mom.
has really contributed and impacted? Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people probably say that, but my strength, um,
Same
my
here. Yeah.
wisdom,
Yeah.
my patience,
Yeah.
the mother that I am,
Yeah.
how nurturing, my just everything, like my tenacity. There's so much of me that is my
Mhm.
mom. There's
Mhm.
even the parts that I may not necessarily want to be like my mom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She, like I said, I'm one of five. She was a single mom until I was like 5 or 6. She met my stepfather, and then I lived in a 2-parent household, which was amazing until I was like 14 or 15, and then
Mhm.
again I had to watch her in an even harder season, right?
Yeah.
Because with toddlers, it seems extremely hard because they're busy, but they're not
Yeah.
as expensive. There's not as many things. So what I think she thought could have been her darkest moments when we were younger, I think she got to see it was actually as we got older, and it shaped me because I've always been really observant. So at that age of like 14, I was like, okay, how can I help? Like what can I do? And she's always
Mm.
been extremely appreciative of that characteristic in me.
Yeah.
And I always go back and just think about how life could have really been, knowing now, like as a woman, as a
Mhm.
mother, as an adult,
Yeah.
knowing the sacrifices that she made, the things that she went without, the things that she did that may not have been responsible, but it was for the greater happy, or just to see her children happy.
Yeah.
Because I have those same moments.
Yeah.
There's no other woman literally in this world that I could say has impacted me more than her. No one.
Yeah.
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 So that's my
Yeah.
girl. Everybody knows she's
That's
like my best.
beautiful.
She goes everywhere with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's my bestie.
I
Yep.
love it. That's who it's supposed to be. That is
Yeah, that's my
beautiful.
girl. That's
That
my
is
girl. So
that
yeah,
is beautiful.
thank you.
So I know you have the journal coming up. Is there anything else you have coming that you'd like to share? Also, if you can give everyone your website, your Print
Yeah.
Junkee website, and your Instagram handle.
Yeah, I got a couple of things that I'm working on. So I have the journal. We're hoping for June 1st for the journal. I am a part of an event on May 4th. It's whatever that Saturday is. I want to say it's May 3rd or 4th, called CandoCon Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my second year doing this event, but I will be doing live printing on the spot. I just did it in December for a holiday marketplace. So I did like pull out, but I do a lot
Wow.
of like alloy jewelry. This is like
Mm-hmm.
a car ornament. So at this event, I have what's called an activation station,
Mm-hmm.
and I am literally, people are coming up to me, they're sending me pictures or whatever it is that they may want, and I am printing these items on the spot.
On the spot.
On the spot.
Wow.
Yep. So that is CandoCon Philly. It's on 9th and Spring Garden. I want to say whatever that Saturday is. I think it's May 3rd
And
or
you're in
4th.
Philadelphia for the
It's in
everyone's listening.
Philadelphia.
She's talking about Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think it's actually Sunday. But I'll post it. So that's CandleCon. I have that. I have a t-shirt class that I am teaching on April 25th, which is a Saturday also. It's
Mm-hmm.
called Tea Time, so it's going to be a tea party theme.
Oh,
So this is a part of me trying to give, of course. So it'll be open for 25 people. That flyer will go out tomorrow.
okay.
So I'll be sure to send it to you so you
Yeah,
can see it.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that and the journal, just about it. I'm at capacity at this point
Yeah.
for those things. And then I'll follow up with I do party prints, so like custom potato chip bags and water bottles and buttons and all of those things too.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be
Mm-hmm.
a separate class also
Okay.
in the summer, probably in June.
I love, first of all, that
Yeah,
in everything you do, you are like giving back. In everything that you
it's
do, you
important.
are willing to teach the next person,
Yeah,
to give right to the next person. I
yeah.
love that about you, and that's why you're blessed. That's why
Thank you.
you're gonna be,
Thank you.
even like you said, this is your season.
This
God
is
is
my
about to blow
season.
your mind, honey. God is
This
about
is
to
my
blow your
season. I
mind.
feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel it. I'm not afraid to say I feel it. I feel it.
Yeah.
There is
That's
definitely a
good.
shift. I feel it. I think that it's important too, just to say like there is strength in numbers, right?
It
Like
is.
this whole saturated market
Mhm.
mindset. There's so many people in this world, like, and I always compare it to motherhood. Like, okay,
Mm.
there's a million moms. You can't find two identical moms.
Hello.
You can't find a group of kids that's going to say, "I don't want you as my mom. I want her."
Mhm.
Right? So
Wow.
you
Yeah.
will attract who you're supposed to attract. And so if you
There
do
you
have
go.
a yeah, so I love to teach the craft again because it's fun for me too.
Yeah.
I'm in this print shop, it's just me all
Mhm.
day, all day, every day. Just me, right? So
Yeah.
when I get to do all of these things, I'm like, oh hey friend, hi,
Right. I get
hi,
to be around
oh,
people.
right? Like talk to me, hi, I see you, hi, hi. That's me.
Uh-huh.
So I'm
Yeah.
for it. I'm gonna try to give a class as often as I possibly can, for sure. Just for
Yeah.
the interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we have to look forward to for Print Junkee. The name is spelled here. So my Instagram handle is at PRINTJUNKEE. My website is the same, www.printjunkie.com. Again, my brick and mortar is at 7153 Torresdale Avenue in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19135. Currently, we're operating by appointment only. So don't just knock on the door. We're not here. Send us a DM. An email. The email is info@printjunkie.com. We're very responsive, but I look forward to any newcomers. And it is event season.
Yeah.
If you do not, if you are not prepared for event season, you do not have to be in Philadelphia. We ship worldwide. And I say we because at any time I'm calling one of those kids or my husband or somebody around here. So
Mhm.
Print Junkie, we are a we. For all things that you need, this is Print Junkie, where my tagline is "We get it done." So graduations, proms, weddings, bar mitzvahs, we have what you need. Stop by and check us out. Yeah,
I am the I I'm excited for you. Like you said, you have a lot going, but it all seems so fulfilling,
Yeah,
for you. So I'm excited for you. Like you said, you're in
thank you.
this season. I'm excited for your season, God. Like I said, God will blow your mind. I'm a witness.
I believe it. I believe it.
So receive it. And you know what I mean? Whatever he has for you. A lot of times if something feels so big, we get afraid,
Yeah,
like, oh my gosh,
I've
like,
been
is
there.
this it? You know what I mean? And I've been there too, but now I'm in the season where I'm like, no, if he's giving it to me, he's already given me the tools. He's
That's
already
mine.
equipped me. So
That's
what are you
mine.
scared of?
That's
Yeah.
mine. That's
Yeah.
mine.
Step into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't be ungrateful. We cannot be
Yeah.
ungrateful for the
Yeah.
things that we prayed for, cried for, worked for,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I think there's always that little bit of doubt that you're not going to get it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
no, I am here with open heart, open hands, open
Yeah.
wallets. I am
Yeah.
ready to receive any and all of my blessings, and I am just hoping to be a blessing to others as well.
Well, I thank you so much for
I
coming on
appreciate
the
you.
show. This has been a great conversation and empowering. 'Cause we're all about empowering and inspiring and informing the people. And you have done just that.
Thank you so much. Thank
You
you for
have
having
done
me.
just
I
that.
appreciate the opportunity. I love the name. I love I Can Do that.
Thank you.
Can Do. I thought that was I just love that. I
Yeah.
wanted to tell you that. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
the opportunity. Shout out to Brittany Nicole. What is it? What is her right at Brittany Nicole brand?
Brittany Nicole brand.
A powerhouse.
Powerhouse.
Um, yeah, and again, I'm powered by the black women before me, the women before me in general.
Yeah.
So thank you. This was an amazing opportunity. I enjoyed myself. My nerves flew out the window as soon as we started
Right.
talking.
Because I'm thinking to myself now, she said she was nervous before
I
we got on,
was,
before we
I
went live.
was, but
But you
I
know
guess
what
the
it
right
is?
topics.
But I was gonna say that. You know what it is? It's because you love what you do. You love when
I
you
do.
love what you do, when it's your passion and your purpose, you speak freely about it. You
Right,
know? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I appreciate it. Yeah, check me out, follow me.
So
There's so
people
much
be
more to come.
sure, yeah, be sure to follow her again. She's in Philly, but she takes orders worldwide. So
Worldwide.
be sure to go to her website, send her an email. She gave you her Instagram handle, DM her. And again, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Women Can Do Show, for taking the time out of your day to just support this platform, support this show. And if you're new watching the show and you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to click that subscribe button.
Please.
Also, be sure to subscribe to our website at www.icando.biz, because you'll receive our monthly newsletter of all the things we have happening. We have some amazing things coming up. The remainder of the year, some really exciting years, some exciting events. This is our 5th year. August 1st is the 5th birthday of I Can Do.
Congratulations.
So thank you. So we have a lot of things coming. So be sure to subscribe to our website. Click that subscribe button on this YouTube channel, because we will be sharing a lot here as well. And Dalarse, again, I want to thank you. I hope you have a blessed rest of your
Thank you so
evening.
much.
And I
Thank
cannot
you.
wait for that journal, because I will be
And
pushing
don't
that on
worry,
my
it's gonna
page.
be
I
in your
always tell
mailbox.
people, send me your one thing about me, I'm going to champion everybody else.
Oh, I believe it. I believe
So
it.
I always tell people, send me your stuff. I will post it on my page.
I believe that. I most certainly will. I'll make sure you get
Yeah.
a copy. And then of course when we're done, I'll send you an email so that I can get your address so that I can send you your Tumblr.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
look forward to this connection. We are
Definitely.
bonded, like I
We are
told Britt.
here. We
We
are
are
here.
bonded.
And
So
listen,
we'll be in touch.
I'll be in Philly next month.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'll let
So
you know.
maybe we can do lunch.
Yep, I'll let you know the dates. I have the dates, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you an email. But I'll be there next month
Okay.
for an event. Yeah, yeah,
Good. Then we'll catch up for sure. Thank you so much again.
definitely.
And good night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you so
Good
much.
night.
All
Bye,
right. Bye bye.
everyone.